Hey everyone, it's Teddy, aka JamesKisau and MTGO, coming back for another GRIXIS Control Friday. And this week, I think we're just going to do a stock list video, or a stock list, whatever qualifies as a stock list for GRIXIS Control. This is the list I've been playing the most and been having the most success with overall, I think. And it feels the most streamlined and diverse in terms of options, but it's certainly not tuned for anyone's local meta. I guess in a sense it's tuned for the online meta, which is everywhere and everything. I'm not really sure, but this is the one that's been feeling best to me, and I haven't had a ton of time to play post Eternal Weekend. So instead of kind of branching out and trying something crazy, I'd like to take this opportunity to just play a League of Grixis Control, since it's something that I don't get to do as often since Eternal Weekend. I think it will just enrich the content down the line if I have a better grasp on what's going on in the meta. I don't think too much has been different. I tried to play in the Showcase Qualifier and the RCQ, both legacy events this weekend. Yeah, 80 QPs was no problem for me because, I'm always putting those 5-0s up, but um, the first one was on 7 a.m. Saturday. I slept through the first round, and that gets you an automatic drop. And then that night I played a show, and the next morning I woke up in time for round one, but I was swiftly defeated by Grim on Cradle Control. I just wasn't really doing it. I look back on it, and I think that I was not doing what I normally would. I don't know. You do need to sleep to think critically, it turns out, most of the time. Sometimes you're just like driven, but my motivation for these tournaments was pretty low, but I couldn't pass up a chance at entry into the Legacy Championships because it's something I've wanted to do for over a year now. Maybe we'll get there. They always have those last chance qualifiers where you just got a 5-0. Easy, right? Just got a 5-0. And then each round gets more and more bloodthirsty and ruthless since that person's also undefeated. But if you get to the end, that will get you a Legacy Championship entry token, which is not easy to do. But I guess that's what I'm thinking on. There might even be another showcase qualifier or challenge before then, so I might have another shot, and that's what we'll shoot for. After Eternal Weekend, I do feel like I have the endurance now to do something like that, but also I need to actively make some changes in my lifestyle or prioritize MTGO, which has been a hard sell since I love Magic and I take Magic incredibly seriously, but it's not really at the extent where I would request a night off of work or a night off of my passion to. Wait, that's not even true though, because I definitely got work off to go to Eternal Weekend. That's a whole different thing. That's like, not only is it an awesome tournament, but it's a social gathering, and you go and you meet people you've been interacting with all year, and you finally get to actually feel some part of the legacy community, which is great. It's a special thing. And I think online tournaments, it's a harder sell for me to warp my social and professional life in preparation of, but I think it's honestly worth it at this point. There's a lot of people who believe in this deck and believe in me, and it's incredibly touching and humbling. And I think it's time that the next time like a showcase qualifier comes around, I might actually engineer things so that maybe I just, at the very least, can get off work early that night, get some real rest, and then actually have a fighting shot at one of these Legacy Championship entry tokens. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I don't know how I got on that huge tangent. Oh, it was just from talking about the two challenges this weekend and how neither of them went how I pictured, but they definitely went how they should have, given that, yeah, I just didn't really get to rest before them. So, yeah, I guess that's it. Let's play this stock list and hopefully have some fun. I mean, it will be fun. I love this deck, but hopefully have some success. That's the aspect that's not 100% in our control, but I feel pretty dialed in this week. Yeah. Um, Usually I do a little bit of like Grixis control news around the world. Can't think of anything right now. I might add an addendum if something like screams to my attention, but I think the deck is just chugging along. We're getting a lot of good results, I'm really stoked to see it show up in the 5.0 dumps, not piloted by me, and on MTG top 8 and other places. So keep up the good work, everyone. And oh yeah, I was gonna say also that maybe my 75 or my main board or sideboard is like the perfect 75 for me, but it might not be the perfect 75 for you. So if you do copy this list and you see cards that are like, I don't really know what I'm supposed to do with this card, change it. Play a card that you feel confident about casting and running in your deck. This is my lists are not gospel, but they're hopefully like an inspiration point for where you want to take your list. Maybe it's not even Grixis at the end. Maybe it's 4 colors, 2 colors, 3 different colors. I just want people to know that it is possible to play Control in Legacy, and it's really fun and really rewarding. And that's it. I think there's a room for everyone to coexist in a harmonious way. I think it's one of the things that makes Legacy such a fantastic format. Not the most focused intro, but I think that is all I wanted to get off my chest. And now let's just do what everyone came for. Play some Grixis Control in Legacy. Welcome to round 1, everyone. I've won the die roll, so I'll take the play, huh? Ooh, don't like that. I hate mulliganing on the play, because I feel like I have no cards. Yeah, we'll keep this. I think I'll bottom one of the Force of Wills. Maybe Force plus Tameo will get there. It's a solid turn 1. Opponent's also taking a mulligan. That's nice of them. Now I'm wondering if double Force is smart. I don't know. I think Thoughtseize makes up for that. We'll do that. I'm also wondering if I should Thoughtseize first before playing Tameo, but I'm not going to, like, take a removal spell if they have that. I'm just going to pitch Tameo to Force instead. So, in light of all that, I'm going to play Tameo. That makes sense. And I think they're thinking about Force of Will. I mean, if you can't keep up with this, you might as well Force, right? It tells me they're not really thinking about erasing it. I don't think anyone's ever forced one of my turn 1 plays before. Well, that's not exactly true. Metallic Rebuke, okay, so are we fighting 8 cast? I mean, if they play Emery, I'll probably force that right back. It's kind of the same idea. There's a Saga. Soul Guide Lantern, you got it. Exiling Tameo. Passing the turn. They might have a Soul Land, which would be rough. I guess we're about to find out. Thoughtseize you. Yep, there's that Ancient Tomb. Urza's Saga start, we all love. Of the two, I suppose Mishra's Bauble is a little less useful in a weird way. I'm going to take Urza's Bauble. I think you could argue either one, though. And then, yeah, I can't Bowmaster this construct, unfortunately, but Strix is not bad. And then we'll see if Bowmasters is at all acceptable. I don't really think it will be, though. 8cast just had a pretty good weekend. However, those decks did not run any Thoughtcast or Thought Monitors, so we could just go without Bowmasters and draw something else in exchange. Because, yeah, these constructs are arriving as 3/3. I think I'd rather play Strix and potentially rip a blue card and bolt the other construct. I think that's the way to go. So do that. Okay. I mean, I'll have absolutely nothing after that, but maybe I won't have to force. There's a 3/3. Let's let them try and make another one first, or float the mana. Alright, very good. As good as it can be. I don't like using cards on single constructs. It does not feel good. But it's what we got. I need to generate card advantage pretty soon. They go second Saga. I'll need like Nimble Obstructionist probably. Emery. I'm gonna roll the dice here. They flipped Bauble and Petal. Not Bauble. Or wait, no, they did not flip Bauble. That's the one I took off Thoughtseize. And they can choose to activate this to get another card. Or they could keep their... Okay, yeah. Seems pretty free for them at this point. To refill a little bit. And they looked at their own card, which I find interesting. Fear's the Mind Killer. I guess if you just ignore whatever I'm drawing, you can just go about your life. Alright, how about Kolaghan's Command? No, but I don't even know if Cling to Dust is good enough because they have that Soul Guide Lantern. It can cantrip. Is that better than just shuffling though? Probably not. Fuck. Alright, send it back. I think we're gonna get buried. That's a shame. We had an opportunity to win the game here, but Ponder did not convert. I could have held Cling to try and blow out Emery. But they're going for the Petal, which I find interesting. Do they have Kappa Cannoneer? I mean, Bobble can cast Kappa just as easily as Lotus Petal. Yep. This is going to be tough. There it is. Big Krappa. I mean, Kappa. Alright. So, Kolaghan's Command, still great here. And then Shieldred's Edict after that, please? Thoughtseize, no. Not quite right. Snapcaster Mage, jeez. I'm gonna bluff Murktide. Wait, can I do this? I'm gonna make them think I have Murktide. I want them to blow that lantern. Blow the lantern. Ah. It's lost. Petal. You know, I could have countered that with a Force of Will. And they're gonna draw at least 2 cards a turn. This thing's hitting hard. They are attacking with both. I'll happily block. Maybe they want an excuse to use the lantern. Still no. Oh man. I need Brainstorm into Bolt and Shieldred's Edict. Okay. It's close. I mean, it's possible they won't be able to make an artifact, which would keep that 7/7, but they'll probably redraw. Seems extremely unlikely that this will work out. I guess we gotta try. Wait. Oh, what the hell is this? Yeah, alright. This matchup does get a lot better post-side, and I also have it on good authority that this deck does not run Chalice of the Void, which is cool. I wonder if I need Fatal Push, just for a little extra removal, because I'm pretty sure they also play Patchwork Automaton. Meltdown's pretty much the only acceptable way to deal with this deck. I don't need Thoughtseize or Reanimate. Baragov seems very good. It's all about that Meltdown. I don't need the Mountain. Don't think that list had any Harbingers of the Seas either. You almost don't even want Narset, because it's a little slow in the matchup, and they're not about drawing cards, except for Baubles, which they can easily maneuver around Narset for full value. Cling to Dust. Maybe I should have kept that. I don't know. Then I would have also had a blue card for Kappa Cannoneer. There's a lot of different ways it could have gone. And I'm pretty certain I did not pick the right avenue. I'm gonna try my Force of Will too. That's okay though. I haven't played against 8-cast in some time. Just get back into it. Come on, deck. Don't give me two no-landers in a row. This is some gnarly stuff. I'll keep bottom and island. Fortunately, they're mulliganing again. Maybe to 5. They'll probably look for some kind of recourse for Meltdown. They'll certainly be expecting that. No, they're good on 6. See if I can set up a quick Kaito. I'm gonna shuffle. No removal spell, no land. Kind of rough. Ancient Tomb. Lotus Petal. Pinnacle Emissary. I think I need to force that. They only would make that play off a Lotus Petal if they had a bunch more zeros to dump out here. And I don't have a Meltdown, so this also prevents it from getting warped on the back half. And yeah, look at that. They would have had a pretty solid board. Pyroblast. It's a much more acceptable answer. Now I'm really afraid of surveilling here, because if I miss on a red source and can't red blast a Kappa Cannoneer or an Emery, that would be terrible. I do need to apply pressure though, so we shouldn't hold Bowmasters. They also don't have Metalcraft, and missed their chance to activate the bauble Sans punishment, so that double Ancient Tomb start, hopefully we can capitalize on that. Cast Ponder right away. Sure. Make a land drop. Maybe take that Snapcaster Mage. Could be pretty good, but it's probably going to be more important to Surveil. I think I can operate on 3 lands here. We also don't have to really worry about an Emery until they have blue mana, which could be coming up. Yeah, I'll take Snapcaster Mage. Let's Snap Ponder off a volcanic island. If they forced that, I would have just let it go. It's not a bad exchange. There's Meltdown. Okay, cool. I will draw that next turn. I'm gonna make a land drop though, and if they Mishra's Bauble and see it, well, I want them to see it. Meltdown backed up by Red Blast is usually good enough, because this deck does expend a lot of cards to apply pressure. And now my pressure is almost a 3-turn clock in concert with Kolaghan's Command. If they tap that Ancient Tomb, maybe even a little faster. Whoa. So now they have blue, but they're still not doing anything. Should I draw a land? They also have Metalcraft. Like, it's all coming together for them now. And I think I probably should Red Blast a Kappa Cannoneer because Ward 4 is insane. Well, maybe not. I could draw the land and pay the ward, I guess. Red Blast it. Be very funny. Pinnacle Emissary? Yep, that's fine. Well, let me have it. Unless that was bait. Another Pinnacle Emissary? Sure. We're about to melt it down. And let's like exclude force blue card here. You discard and I'll just shock them as well. It's kind of a waste of a Kolaghan's Command, but I'm trying to just wrap this up and turn off their Ancient Tombs while I'm at it. Ah! I think they were holding force blue card. Sure, why not? Now the real question is, if they do counter this somehow, do I Red Blast or do I just melt down again? Probably just melt down again. Red Blast can do other stuff. That got the concession. On one hand, it's a little unfortunate to have shown Meltdown, but also, like, they know it's there. Tamiyo does not synergize great with Meltdown, but it's usually fine. Like, if we're getting that many clues off Tamiyo, like, clearly we're in a position of luxury. No, I think I want this Force of Will back. And we can go without one of the Kaitos, I'm pretty sure. Force of Will also feels acceptable. Yeah, I like this hand. It's pretty darn good. It's a little soft to a turn 1 all-in Emissary, but I think we can survive that in the long run. They're going to mulligan for the 3rd time this set. We finally have a good 7. What we're hoping for is like an intense resource dive on getting an Emery in. I really hope this is not Pinnacle Emissary. Oh shit. This is kind of what I was hoping to avoid. See how bad it is. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Okay, that could have been worse. I was expecting more to come after the Opal. So I can't take them off Metalcraft bolting a drone, and honestly that doesn't seem that great either. Oh, that was a good draw. Provided they don't get Graveyard Hate, but also they're more incentivized to fight stuff like Snapcaster Mage or Kolaghan's Command, recurring something good. Saga is pretty scary. Those constructs are going to be ginormous. So we gotta really work towards this Murktide. I'll surveil almost anything that's not Meltdown, I think. Or Consign. Consigning Chapter 2 seems good. They're holding one back. That might save me in the end. Nope. Not that one. Christ. This is bad. It's gonna be hard for Murktide to outsize these constructs. I wish they'd play something worth bolting. Oh god. This is so bad. Should I bolt this? I think so. Not a good feeling. I need Meltdown. God damn, man. I surveilled away a land, and my 2 draw steps have been lands, and I fetched both for both my lands. Oh, it hurts. It fucking hurts. No, sometimes you run bad. What can you do? Barely too big. And I don't have the mana to combination Kolaghan's Command Bolt. Now what are they gonna do? Ideally just make a construct, right? And ideally not get Graveyard Hate. Ideally like get Pithing Needle. Oh, that's pretty bad too. The damage is just absurd. Might as well blow their mana out a little bit. Destroy that artifact. And deal 2 there. Oh, what are you doing? Hydroblast. Oh, fuck me. Meltdown or Blessed. If I don't hit Meltdown, I'm done. You can go white around me. Brainstorm for Meltdown. Let's do it. Yes. Oh my god. Cannot believe this shit. I'll go to 1. I think that's fine. I should hold the swamp. Just in case for some reason there's Harbinger. They do get a redraw. I think they'll activate the Bobble in response. I wish I could play Murktide this turn, but I can't let them have Lava Spur Boots. I'm at 1. Melt for 1. And they look at Lightning Bolt. Okay. Hope they don't have Pyrite Spellbomb. And if they do, I hope they never find red mana. That Pinnacle Emissary in exile is hopefully never cast. Because if they go white around me, that's a big problem. I told you that 1 they didn't send for early on was going to matter. They drew Soul Guide Lantern. Please don't activate it. I think at this point they either really want Metalcraft or really need another card, so I will say it's unlikely. Nice. I think we have a defense here. 6/6 Murktide. Nope, never mind. Sure. Could be worse. But I do really feel the urge to clock, for obvious reasons. Pedal. Are they going to cast Emissary into my Bolt? Yep. Probably want to cast Nimble Obstructionist first, because I need to clock. Do that. Okay, that gives me a lot of breathing room. Bolt there. Hit for 3. They don't have the resources to cast Kappa. Should I gain life? Gaining life turns on like Force of Will, fetch lands. I think I ought to do it. Are they going to let me consign? Yeah, I think I'll just hold that up and then cling these Lava Spur Boots before they activate the Lantern. Just get this value. They'll fluster it. Sure. Getting my value one way or the other. They're at 10. And they're passing. They could cast an Emery if they draw one. Bowmasters. I'm going to take this opportunity and play Lorien Revealed. I could Thoughtseize myself back down to 1. I don't think that's necessary. My 1 of Thoughtseize is not a good draw at this point. Bobble. Pass. They have Metalcraft. Force of Will. That should wrap this up. Never want to presume too much, but I think we've got this. Too close. Way too close. I had a feeling that 1 they didn't send early on was going to matter. And why did they hold it back? It's so hard to say. But here we are. Here we go for round number 2, up against KSS Waylander, who's not been on the channel for some time. Plays a huge variety of decks, most commonly Black Stompy of some kind. But that's an island, and a Delver, so a little different today. I feel like they're going to Spell Pierce me or something. I also really want to play Strix next turn. If they Wasteland me, I don't think it would be the worst thing ever. I'll hold Badlands out there. Oh, okay, sure. No days. Polluted Delta. Activate. Islands. Another Delver. Well, this is interesting. Alright, let's get a basic island. Start building some mana up. Play Baleful Strix. Tamiyo. That's not bad. I wonder if this is like a mono blue deck. KSS does like to play mono blue deck or mono color decks. Is this True Name Nemesis? Oh, it's Narset. That's very good. Narset and Delver don't often show up in the same decks. Mono Leak. Well, that card's unbeatable. It's basically a counterspell. Do I trade? I think I do. I'm actually kind of surprised they offered it. Ponder? Well, there's only really one thing to do, right? They seem to be F6'd, so I think this bolt will work. If I can ninjutsu Kaito in next turn, that'd be pretty good. Gonna play around Mono Leak. Hopefully they just want to leave that up. Archmage's Charm. Yeah, get that draw 2 in. It's pretty good. They don't produce another threat though, so that's good. If they have no way to catch my Snapcaster Mage, I also could potentially get another Snapcaster trigger, which is extremely good. I do want to worry a little bit about back to basics. I'll take Force of Will. And yeah, not cast Ponder. Because I don't want to force back to basics. If they go like land, back to basics, and can mono leak my force, that would just be really bad. And I don't think they really have many ways to beat Kaito. Blurring Revealed resolves. You have to be pretty selective over what you fight over here. And if they're not getting on board, I'm not fighting. But I will take more Bowmasters. Let's see if I can make a land drop. No, but Thoughtseize does seem pretty good. Go top. Let's see what's going on. Okay, so it's like a Dreadnought deck too. I think I'll take the Archmage's Charm. Double Mono Leak. It's strong stuff for certain. And then I'm going to pick that Bolt up right now. Edict is nice too. And a land drop will start helping to invalidate Mono Leak. Edict is also good. I wonder if they're going to try and like trigger the Ledger Shredder. Yep. 2 Ledger Shredders. And that's conniving. Discarding a Mono Leak. And Dreadnought. Now what's the meaning of this? Vision Charm. I suppose I should probably force that, right? Because, let's see. Well, I can Bolt, Shredder, Snap Bolt, and just tap down. Well, I can't tap down the Dreadnought this turn, but I could. Let's just force. We know their hand. It's Mana Leak, Archmage's Charm. I'll pitch Ponder, I think. Yeah. I'll bolt that Ledger Shredder. Tap down the other one. Ah, crap. Oh my god. I cannot believe I did that. I have not made a mistake that bad in a while. Why did I think these only trigger once? That was the second spell I cast? Yeah. Whoa. Wow. That was ungodly. Oh. Sorry, everyone. Jesus Christ. Alright. Plus. Attack. Go to 9. Jesus. That was one of the worst things I've done in a while. Snapcaster will trigger Ledger Shredders. I think we're just racing. I should draw that Edict. Play Tamiyo. Maybe they'll Archmage's Charm. Try to steal it. Sleep Cursed Fairy. Well, where'd that come from? Maybe they don't have the charm anymore? I screwed up somewhere. Alright. Well. Play Bowmasters. Gotta try and burn them out. And then, yeah, the Edict does not apply any longer. But hopefully Snap Bolt will do it. I'm thinking they will definitely Mana Leak this. No? So that's for this one. I could take out this Ledger Shredder, or I could put them to 1. But if I draw a land, I could just pay for Mana Leak. I'll just put them to 1. Do they have that Mana Leak? I'm not even sure. I do have an 8/8. It's easy to block, since they have those, you know, cool things. The Dreads of Manifest. Okay, that should do it. Even the act of just casting a second spell. They turned a Delver face up. Bolt you. Trigger Ledger Shredder. Get some Bowmaster triggers. That got a little complicated. I made a huge punt. Oh, man. I forgot Ledger Shredder can trigger multiple times a turn depending on how many players there are. That was very silly of me. Take Fatal Push and Red Blast. And I guess that's it. Pretty tempted from the Catacombs as well, though. They're a deck with really good creatures. And they have Horned Oculus. What's stopping them from Murktide as well? Probably nothing. This feels like a KSS deck with a lot of strong, efficient creatures, but this time they're all blue instead of black. And Vision Charm Dreadnought. I don't think I want the Spellbomb. I don't think I want Consign either. Let's ditch 1 Cling, Nimble, 1 Force of Will. And my gut is saying a Ponder or a Brainstorm, but that's kind of crazy. How about a Kolaghan's Command? Hedge against Hydroblast? Sure, I can make do with this. We won't fight for mana, which is good. And Brainstorm can move some stuff around. That was a good draw. Man, Sleep Cursed Fairy makes Edict pretty bad. I think you keep it anyways, though. Alright. Still not convinced there's not, like, non-basic hate somewhere. Ledger, or Trickbind, yeah, there's back to basics. Indeed. Okay. Trickbind, Trickbind, Trickbind. Only 1 land, though. Still could get bad. I'll take the Trickbind. Can't really interact with it. Has Split Second. See if they hit that land. No, but they hit another Sleep Cursed Fairy. Those cards will be problematic someday. Another Brainstorm. Alright. Start doing Bowmaster stuff next turn. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't really know how I'm gonna beat all these creatures. Play Bowmasters. Another land. Alright, let's attack. I mean, if I can turn these lands into action spells, kind of. This is wild. So far, so good, I guess. I'll bolt the one that's going to untap next turn. Ward 2. I'm just making mistakes all over today. No, I won't pay. What the hell's wrong with me? That was embarrassing. Okay. I don't want to interact with these anymore. Murktide. That's why I did that. Clearly. Ugh. Alright, put back Mire and Bowmasters. Then see if I can spike a blue card off this Baleful Strix. Then I think Murktide Regent will be key to victory here. Great. I cannot believe I just spewed like that. This is definitely going to be the last round I play tonight. Clearly too tired. They hit a second land. So yeah, I think I'll just probably try to counter Ledger Shredder if they do that. No attack. No nothing. Is it Mana Leak? I can just force it through. No, it's not. Perplexing. Yeah, I'll attack. Why'd they untap that one? Wouldn't they want to untap this one? Torpor Orb. That's pretty good with the 2 Dreadnoughts in their hand. Can I erase them, though? I think I can erase them with Murktide. Maybe not with these fairies in the way, though. I should just force. Let's not get too fancy. Alright, play Bowmasters. Ping there. That was a good draw. Alright, attack with Murktide. Okay. This is what I try to describe when I say sometimes having a big creature is like as good as an answer. Because if they just chump this Murktide a few times, that'll catch me back up in cards. Let's counter that. Oh, so close to being good. They kind of need to block these things, so I feel like it's pretty free to also attack with this army. They could eat it, but it'd be at a huge cost. And they'll take it. And I'm getting a Baragorf trigger. This could feasibly hit a blue creature. Probably not, but it did. Oh my god. So now I have Force of Will as well. This is absurd. Force whatever they do. And yeah, just full swing. Alright, we're now 2-0. But in light of recent evidence, I'm clearly a little too tired to be doing this. I knew that there was something... Yeah, Sleep Cursed Fairy wouldn't make sense as a card. I mean, a 1-mana 3/3 is, I guess, reason enough to have it, with flying, to have it come in with those stun counters, but yeah, clearly it's like, it needs to be a little more pushed. It needs Ward 2. And yeah, that was a huge mistake. I cannot believe I did that. But I'm going to put this video out anyways. No shame. I'm going to play round 3 tomorrow, though. Going to get some rest right now. So it may not look any lighter outside than in the last round. That's because I just didn't have any time to play today, so it's evening again. And, I don't know. I like that this hand has Force of Will and a castable Lightning Bolt. And I'm also on the play, so mulliganing hurts a lot. What would make this hand good? Drawing lands anyways? Alright, I'll keep. But this is not advisable. Don't try this at home. And I'm going to play around Wasteland a little bit. Eumidian Hatchery, alright. So far, it's not really working out, but we've only had one draw step. The fact of the matter is, in game 1, we're not incredibly favored unless we can kind of approach it like Carnforge Ring and kind of spike their life total, because they do use it a lot, which I think is what I'm going to do. There's no guarantee I'm going to get to use this bolt any other way. And this also might have the weird side effect of making them think twice about tapping their Eumidian Hatchery for no reason. Am I just like a weird burn deck? I don't know. Find out. Yeah, see, they didn't do it. This is sick. I play Burn. I've faced this deck like a decent amount recently. Not a like huge amount of times. And like I'm definitely not like doing well, you know. I have to just let that resolve. I have my own Bowmasters. Like this is not like the card that's gonna win for them. That one is though. I can't Force of Will that one. I'll force Baragorf. If I don't draw land, I'll just concede. But if I do draw land, I feel like weirdly in it. Even though I'm probably not. Alright, fine. Oh boy. If they have Zerran Orb, that'd be pretty annoying. Oh, damn, I wish that they had went through with that. They thought it was Chapter 3 for a hot second. It was not Chapter 3. They're making a construct right now? What's the meaning of this? Thoughtseize? Huh. Well, I think I want to take this construct out. And then I'm not sure what they're going to take. Maybe Kolaghan's Command? Maybe Baragorf? Kaito. That kind of makes sense. I'm going to block with the Bowmasters, I think. Or if I top deck Bowmasters, I can regenerate this token. Or we can just race straight up. Yeah, I'm going to take one here. Hopefully hit a land. Yeah. Alright, what do I do? Definitely attack first. They're at 10. We're getting there. They probably don't really want to block since, yeah, they probably want to keep their Bowmasters established. I feel like getting Baragorf down is pretty effective, but if they have Fatal Push, Kolaghan's Command will be a lot better against that. I'm going to play Baragorf. Just hope they don't have a Zerran Orb. I hope people realize that that card, or I hope people came to that conclusion that the card's not that great in the deck, even though I think it's very good here. Maybe people will conclude that it's not that great. Nile Spellbomb. I think I can live with that. Mox Diamond, dropping a Ghost Quarter, Wasteland, sure. That one's a little rough. I hope they activate the Spell Bomb and forget about my Bowmasters, because right now I have serious board supremacy. And if I rip a land again and just bust through this stuff, I'm also a little surprised they didn't Wasteland their Eminian Hatchery, because that would really screw things up. Land? Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, I think I'll Shatter Construct and deal 2 damage to them, right? And this kind of worked out perfectly, because now I'll be left with Volcanic Island for my red source, which also casts Narset. Ugh, getting choked up. I could also just Shock Bowmasters, Shatter Construct. They'll probably chump with the army, and hopefully they won't have very much time to figure this out. I don't know. I think I'll attack first. There's no reason to really fetch there. See how they line up these blocks. Bowmasters, sure. There would have been some benefit to do that after blocking with the army so you could regenerate the army. But I think mostly this will be okay. If they block the army with the army, which I'm assuming they will do, or even the construct. Oh no, if they block with the construct, I'm pretty happy to shatter that while I get my Bowmasters back. They're going to double block. So they're going to put 5 damage on Baragoyf. Is there any way it will drop below a 5/6 though? I don't think so, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 types in there, and 1, 2, 3, only 4 types in my yard, so they can bomb themselves, which wouldn't even be that bad. But then I could make myself discard. Oh no, there's already a Planeswalker in there. Let's see, if they bomb themselves, the artifact would be added back in anyways. I don't think this is going to end the way they want it to, but I'm scared. Let me see. There's 5 types in here, right? Land, enchantment, sorcery, artifact, sorry, land, enchantment, sorcery, creature, artifact. That's 5. And then my yard's creature, land, planeswalker, instant, and then I could add an additional one if they activate the spell bomb. So I think we're just going to let this go and see who they want to hit. I was like, why are they assigning damage like this? And then I remembered, oh yeah, it has death touch. So that's fine. Now who are they targeting? Themselves? Oh, you know what? I think I did screw this up. There will be no opportunity for me to do this. And they even know I have Narset in hand. I guess I'll just get Tarmogoyf back then. Or not Tarmogoyf, Baragoyf. Yep, Felled Estates. What do you know? Alright. Get back Baragoyf, and then you discard, I guess? Or I can deal 2 damage as well. I think I'll have them discard with their Bloom Command. I like that they don't have a graveyard, because they are a deck that uses their graveyard kind of a lot. They hit Wasteland, and they're going to Wasteland me instead of themselves again. That's fine. Force of Will. Not doing much. Let's attack. They'll block. Just waiting on that land. I have to force Smallpox, of course. Well, there it is. Force of Will. I hope I draw a land. Nice. This is a real slog, huh? It's a little unfortunate if I draw a red card. Like, Bolt would be really good here, but instead it's kind of scary. Because I don't know if I'll get to cast it. That's pretty good. This might just win on the spot. Yep. I feel about this deck a little similarly as I do about, like, Black Stompy, in that we do have value in our graveyard to win through a lot of discard and stuff like that. But this deck has like a lands level of tricks up their sleeve, like Hogak, Life from the Loam. Yeah, it's almost like Black Stompy crossed with lands. And they also have Grist, and a lot of cards that GRIXIS Control really does not like. But I do find stuff like Murktide pretty effective, even though it gets walled a lot of the time. Plague Engineer is nice, Consign is nice, fights tokens of all variety. From the Catacombs is something you ordinarily would want, but since they're a Smallpox deck, you're not really likely to have 5 mana as often as you normally would in these kind of matchups. So we won't bring that in. I will bring in Surgical. I don't think I want Nile Spellbomb. And then I go back and forth on Meltdown. There are times where I'm like, why did I bring in Meltdown? Like, feels terrible. Like, I don't, this isn't fighting the right stuff. And then other times I'm like, only Meltdown will save me right here. So maybe one's the right number. And then Fatal Push is a whole other thing where it's like, you want to be able to beat Barragoyfs. They have plenty of those. But I don't know. Yeah, maybe like swapping Bolt for. But at the same time, you're like, yeah, you want to keep your bolts because they have this core land that's dealing a lot of damage to themselves, not to mention Smallpox and Thoughtseize, taking big chunks out of their life total. It's just a big mess. I think I can set out Narset, and well, Murktide does get walled pretty easily. You can't always play to that game where you counter every Eumidian hatchery trigger. I know I don't like Thoughtseize in these matchups. I need 2 more cuts. See, like, Meltdown is, like, by far the most dispensable part of this. I could cut an Edict, I guess. It feels a little scary to do that against the deck with Grist, and yeah, I don't know. That actually seems inadvisable. They have Hogak as well. I gotta make a decision. How about 1 Kaito, since we have to play a little more controlling? And then I really want to cut this Meltdown, I don't know. But I guess instead I'll cut a Ponder? I don't know. Jesus. Nothing about that made sense. I'll keep this hand. It needs a basic island, but it's pretty good otherwise. If they Thoughtseize, they probably want to take, like, my Force of Will almost. Another Force of Will. Well, if this Ponder does not hit land, we could be in some trouble. But it normally does. But after that, I don't know. This does not look good. Oh boy, a couple of 3-drops. I think I actually need to shuffle this. What am I doing? Yeah, I'll shuffle. Alright, much better. Because potentially the next card is also a land. No wasteland. They might Smallpox here, which is like stunningly neutral. No. Probably just Bowmasters then. Another Ponder. Play this. Keep that. Cast Tameo. See what they want to do about that. They did not play Bowmasters. That makes me feel like they want to cast a Smallpox. And they're going to try and clear the way first, but I have 2 Force of Wills. So what do they take? Bowmasters? Yep. Oh, Rumble? Sure. And that card's really good. They get an Exploration or Eumidian Hatchery. I didn't think this deck played Exploration, to be honest. I'm going to be flipping Tameo this turn. Play this land. Attack in. And I think with how delicate this matchup is, I'm actually going to activate the clue first because I get deeper in. Kolaghan's Command. Okay, looking good. What's the pitch, though? They took Exploration. That might mean they have, like, a Loam in hand. Because Hatchery just seems better by most metrics here. Kaito might be hard to turn on. So yeah, Murktide might actually be better here. Alright. Plus, we'll make this a Tameo game. Or try to. I think I let it go. It's kind of late in the game for Exploration. Saga. Saga. Well, I'll be countering both of those Chapter 2s. You better believe it. This deck plays Witherbloom Command. Seems kind of irresponsible to do anything but get my guaranteed value. Yep. Bank that land. I keep delaying Murktide, but I think that's fine, right? Alright, check this out. Cast with a Replicate. Replicate once. Then we'll change targets. And just like that, no constructs. Not yet anyways, I'm sure they'll find a way. Eumidian Hatchery. Ghost Quarter. Hope they don't Ghost Quarter me yet. Yep, there's the Witherbloom Command. So, called that. I could just force this though. Like, don't really want them to get a Eumidian Hatchery back. Or do I? Do I care about that? They have 1 card left. Tameo's pretty good. Sure, I'll force. Man, they're not Ghost Quartering. That's good. Plus, yeah, I'm gonna cast Murktide here. It'd be even better if I had a way to get a blue card for Force of Will with this Kolaghan's Command, but I think we'll just have to make do, and I'll play around Pithing Needle. Suppose a Pithing Needle would I name Tameo in this scenario? I'm gonna get Volcanic Island, and here I am with 5 mana. Yep, there's Pithing Needle. Might be worth shattering. Now my next question is, do they have like an easy way to beat a Murktide Regent? They might have like Barragoyf. Oh, Toxic Deluge for 7. Yeah, that'll work. Orcish Bowmasters. Hopefully they just ignore Tameo since the Pithing Needle is on it. Nice. Now I can actually get a blue card for Force off Kolaghan's command, but I didn't think it was worth it. That is kind of a problem though. They attack Tameo. But why would they? They could just do it again with the other creatures, so whatever. They're not using their mana for anything else. And yeah, they wisely attack Tameo. Does that mean I am getting Bowmasters back with Kolaghan's command? I guess so. I really just want to burn them out though, but I don't think I can. They're at 8. It's not a blue card. Plus with Tameo. If I don't have to force, I can go for a grand finale. Yep. Huh. Well, I'm pretty suspicious, but I think I'll survive Bowmasters. Oh, nice. Now I have Force of Will. Alright, let's see if this damage connects. They could Ghost Quarter their hatchery, which is what they do. Now they're at 7. Is there any way to do this? I don't think so. God, it's close. It's so close. I guess over the span of a few turns I could. Double blocking there. Okay. I wonder if it's worth just getting Kolaghan's command back. It feels kind of good. But also just walling them off. Holding up Force of Will. Seems fine. No Hogak is nice. Smallpox? How do I want to do this? Just drop Force of Will? Yeah, maybe I just drop Force of Will. They're about to sacrifice their last card anyways. Fatal Push was the draw. Okay, I think we got it. I'll just let it happen. Because I want them to attack. Or it would have been the same thing. It would have been the same thing. I guess it is still the same thing. Except they spent their mana. This is messy. I'm sorry, everyone. Alright. We'll use a basic mountain to pay for the ward. Petty Theft. Pay the ward. No cards in hand. Just cast this. And we have it with the face-up stuff if I just get Kolaghan's command back, but I'll just bolt. Get Kolaghan's command, cast Kolaghan's command to deal 2 and raise dead Bowmasters. I don't know what concealing this would ever do for me though, so whatever. Alright. We're doing pretty darn good so far. Kind of wild matchups as well. Okay, we've lost the die roll here in round 4. Not a huge deal, I'll say. Well, unless it is. We'll see. Yeah. It's a hand. I feel like I'm due to run into a turn 1 deck, though. Like, I feel like I haven't faced a turn 1 deck in quite some time. I don't know if people are just tired of playing them or what, but got a basic swamp off of Marsh Flats, and I'm getting Thought Seized. I'm wondering what they're going to take. If they take Strix, they might be concerned about me top decking a Force of Will. If they take either removal spell, they're probably trying to stick a threat. But I think Strix is the pick that makes the most sense here. And I would bet on this being Blue-Black Reanimator. Yep. Not a bad draw. Let's just play Polluted Delta, though. Stay flexible. Not give away that I drew a Brainstorm. Because if I play Island out, that's pretty telegraphed. I feel like playing this land out signals to them I want to Surveil, which further signals, oh, they must have drawn another bad card. Shadowy Backstreet's weird. Is this energy? I hope not. Cabal Therapy? Well, let's scramble shit up, huh? Sure, I'll get another island. Basically, definitely want to put these 2 back on top of my deck, which is what we'll do. We could aim for like the 50-50, but I'm not gonna try. And I think they're gonna name probably Lightning Bolt. Sorry, someone just knocked on my door. It's probably just a package, but it still scared me. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Did you see that? I got leveled. I run one copy though. That just tells me that my opponent does not know what I'm doing. Either that or we'll just edit all that out. Brainstorm. Fix my hand. I feel like I had to leave mid-thought though. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, I think it signals that I don't think my opponent really knows what I'm doing. It's probably a little dangerous to keep 2 bolts. I could just bolt in response if they Cabal Therapy me again. Then they probably name Shieldred's Edict though. I don't know. I don't want to overthink it. I do want to keep Narset though, so I can generate more card advantage than them. This is kind of risky, but I'm going to put 2 lands back. And maybe I'll just draw that other land, who knows. But I'll probably shuffle. Energy is a tough matchup. Hope this is not Goblin Bombardment. It is. Oh, shoot. I should really draw that land. And now I'll play Narset. I know they have a Wasteland. I just know it. Activate. Take Cling. Now or never on that Cabal Therapy, bub. I'm mostly just salty that they spiked my one of Tameo. Oh yeah, I knew what I was going to say. Either they don't really know what I'm up to, or they identified the one card that's good against them and they could not beat, and they named that. Which I find a little hard to believe. Voice of Victory. I don't think they're going to want to Cabal Therapy that, but it's going to get a lot harder next turn. Ah, crap. This is a complete mess. You always hope that their last few cards are not incredible, but they are. If they name Lightning Bolt, we're in big trouble, which I see no reason why they wouldn't. Although, Shieldred's Edict is a better answer to a Ajani. Okay, they do name the Edict, thank God. But that does mean they can plus with a Ajani. Not good either. I can't get another card off Narset. If I hit a red source, I can bolt these 2 problem permanents, I guess. Not quite right. Yep, it's gotta be a Ajani. And I guess I'll cling Thoughtseize. This damage is gonna be out of control pretty soon. Ugh. Those draws were just in opposite order. Counting on them just not drawing anything good for like the rest of the game. It's not incredibly likely. Another Ajani. God. This was one of the matchups I specifically teched for on Eternal Weekend, and then I didn't see it, and then haven't seen it. And now that I've taken all the relevant cards out of my sideboard, I'm probably going to lose to it. But that's okay. Can't deal with everything. Now they're plussing with Ajani. Kind of a relief, but also not. They're ignoring Narset because their deck does not draw cards. But also, I'm hoping that they're a little respectful of a combo. Okay, that saved me a life. That's pretty good. What's going to help here? Barragoyf like barely helps. Bowmaster is solid enough. Alright. Bolt Voice, take 1. God, Bombardment is so good. How's this card so good? Yep. Alright. It's not looking good. But yeah, maybe they just won't draw anything relevant for a while. Or discard spells are also amenable. Amped Raptor. What does that flip? Voice of Victory. I think I'm good to go to the next game. Just kind of don't want to wade through this. An Edict was coming up, but yeah, I just can't keep up with the board. Let's take from the Catacombs and Fatal Push. As long as you're playing from ahead here, everything is fine. But sometimes getting to that position is pretty difficult. They have like nothing for this matchup. Just haven't seen it for a long time. No sweepers. Not even a Plague Engineer. It's almost correct to also side out Barragoyf and Murktide Regent because they play Swords to Plowshares. I'd rather side out Thoughtseize though. And then having action is so important. I'll run like that. I mean, I'll keep it. It's not super exciting though. Opponent taking a mulligan. That's good. In a lot of ways, this is the scary game because once I make it back to the draw, I can play that game where I just like remove each of their threats they try to play. So I'm very grateful to be up a resource in this game. Alright, let's surveil. Sure, my one of Thoughtseize, let's get that out of the way. It's not going to feel good though. Like usually you'll just Thoughtseize them and see a hand of like Ajani, Amphraptor, and just a lot of 2-for-1s, and I guess you could pick one. Opponent's tanking on my upkeep. They might have Surgical Extraction, I hope. But now I'm on my draw step, it's too late. Alright, Thoughtseize you. This is exactly what I was talking about. A bunch of cards I need to force. Fuck. This is so bad. What do I even do? Amphraptor has the potential to fail. I'm not taking that one or forcing it. And I guess I can play around Goblin Bombardment, but not very easily. They have to invest into that, and they're not adding to the board when that happens, so sure. So I'll take a Ajani. The legendary creature. Makes no sense. And Voice of Victory, I can potentially answer 1-for-1. They're binning a backup bombardment. I wonder if I'm supposed to force a Goblin Bombardment if they cast it. It wouldn't be a bad idea. I think they're going to go for the Raptor here, though. And I can't bring myself to do it. But this makes all my removal bad going forward. Murktide? This might work. Well, I should try and protect double blue. That means I kind of need to force the next thing they do so I can work up to this Murktide. This just might work. Although it is kind of a catch-22, right? Because, like, part of me wants to force the thing that would potentially answer Murktide, right? Raptor, March of Otherworldly Light, that's a blank. This is what I was talking about. Then again, they could still just go Doomblade on, or they could turn my Bowmasters into a Doomblade. Highly unfortunate. Can't catch them F6'd, but I think I'm down for that. Furthermore, if I top deck a blue card, I could just Island Cycle Lorien Revealed and get my 5/5 Murktide that way. I also don't like that they're representing Red Blast. Yep. I love casting Doomblade. Come on, deck. You're killing me right now. Problem is, if they play Voice next turn, hardcasting Force is not even an option. This Murktide does need to be a 5/5, doesn't it? I mean, does it? Kind of. Goblin Bombardment could really band together on a 4/4. Doesn't seem good enough. Maybe I'll just hardcast Lorien Revealed. I don't know. Maybe I'll pitch Murktide to Force. I don't know. Everything is wrong. Sure. Don't play Ajani. Alright. Didn't like that pause. They had full reins to do whatever they wanted. The fact that they didn't do anything is pretty good. Snapcaster Mage. This is all moving in the wrong direction. Yeah, cast Lorien Revealed. Take some damage. And hopefully crack back stronger, nastier, and better. Even their bad options are pretty good here. Hope they can't gain life, though. What the hell's this? 4th Aerolingus? This is quite a surprise, I must say. It might work out for me. Not to mention, now they have the City's Blessing. This Ocelot Pride's going to just screw everything up. You always hope the draws aren't going to be good, but they're always good. The draws are always good. Ooh, Reanimate, that's pretty good. Alright, Reanimate Bowmasters. Hit Ocelot Pride. Sure. Bolt Voice. Bolt Knight. No Goblin Bombardment, interesting. I think 7/7 will do here, and I should leave a Bolt in the graveyard. I might not need to force. I probably will, but I might not. They're drawing a lot of cards, unfortunately. But I know one of their cards is Prismatic Ending, which is not incredibly relevant. I will say I haven't really indicated that I have a Force of Will, being that I just kind of, you know, let them Voice of Victory for so long. So we could really turn it here. Just need to dodge like double Pyroblast or like Swords Pyroblast, you know? They're not making this easy. Alright, I untapped. Bowmasters, not bad. Tight. The pauses were scaring the hell out of me. But if they had something, they would have done it before I untapped. I'm the Monarch. I drew a land I would have liked to play. They have Prismatic Ending and 2 unknowns. I have a Doomblade for their X1s. Pulled that one out. Now I'm on the draw, which, like I said, has its own weird comforts about it. I don't like Thoughtseizing this deck. I think it actively makes it a more difficult matchup. Because I see their hand and I'm just like, I'm never beating all of this shit. Whereas if I can assess these things one at a time, it feels better. I should watch my own How to Play Control series. I'm not taking the lesson to heart. I do want to minimize the effectiveness of Red Blast. Like, I'm glad they brought in Red Blast, because it's something you can play around. Probably run it back. I don't think any of these cards are better than the ones I have in. You could argue maybe Price of Progress, but that's just as likely to draw as it is to win, I think. Can't really afford to play many basics. They're a 3-color deck in Legacy with no cantrips or any card selection of any kind, really, other than, I guess, the Monarchy now. That really did surprise me. I don't know how stock that is, because the deck is not famous for making a lot of mana or going long, so it's a curious inclusion, but definitely a good call if you're playing against a slower, grindier deck. I'm going to run it back. Well, I'll mulligan that. They're keeping 7. We're already at an extreme disadvantage, and that disadvantage will persist as I have a hand that I'm really not excited about. I'll keep, and it would just be terrible to get Cabal Therapied, so backup Brainstorm is going away. If this was not a Cabal Therapy matchup, you could probably guess that I would bottom from the Catacombs. Oh, sheesh. Yeah, this is bad. But we're never winning this on 5. Guide of Souls. It's bittersweet. Part of me wants to like draw a lightning bolt, but also a land would probably be better. Alright, we're in trouble. We're in trouble now. I'll ponder. Kolaghan's Command is an answer to guide. It's a pretty slow one, but it's there. We'll see if I want to shuffle it away or not. Hopefully not. It is the kind of card that could maybe get there. If they go Ocelot Pride, I'll be pretty sad. But all their follow-ups here are quite strong. Best case scenario would be like Voice of Victory, which is still bad. Or I guess Goblin Bombardment would be a slight reprieve. Okay, that's Voice. So I think I certainly Edict here. And like, what do they do about that, you know? Do they keep their engine, or do they keep the thing with like more toughness? That is hard to say. I could also Brainstorm to make sure I'm getting rid of the Guide of Souls. No, I'd have to like Brainstorm and hit something. It's probably wisest to just Edict here, but I'm starting to fall behind, which is not good. We're hoping their hand is full of reactive cards like Red Blast and swords and stuff, which it honestly might be, seeing as how they lost the last game because they could not interact with my Murktide Regent. Alright, let's go like that. I'm glad to see that go, but this card is a problem. Wasteland. Staff. Well, I do have Kolaghan's Command coming up, but the fact that they didn't hold up a white to activate it pretty much tells me that they're planning on wastelanding me, which is very bad. They waited to the last possible moment. It's cruel. Alright, well, time to suffer a little bit more. Gotta hit a land here. Should probably Surveil. Taking 4 damage a turn at least. If they can be tricked into not adding more to the board and like actually spending mana on staff, that would be pretty good for me. They're not doing anything. They'll draw in response here. I can't draw, or I can't cast spells during their turn, but I get the sentiment. Thoughtseize? No. Brazen Barber. It's not quite right either. I need to fix this hand up. Alright, this might do it. I can't really count on from the Catacombs, unfortunately. And I suppose I should also play around Red Blast. So, am I putting Snapcaster Mage back? I think so. Maybe Brazen Borrower is more wise, though. Sure. A little less mana intensive though. Alright. Tough choice. It's gotta be black, obviously. Could just get Badlands. I'm already exposed to Wasteland. They could waste me off blue if I take Badlands, but not black. But that's the same thing as getting a swamp. So yeah, do that. Hopefully lock out the staff in their eyes, even though it's barely locked out. I don't know if I'll survive. I'm at 9. It's tough. They swords my Bowmasters. Oh, they swords their army token. Huh. Well, that's interesting. Do they have lethal? They don't want to give me life? Is that what's going on? Another Voice of Victory. Yeah, really need Baragoyf to hold some ground here. It's not looking good. I mean, how many swords can they possibly have, right? Top decking force, not likely to matter. Elbow tap. That's what I got. Hopefully you have a couple red blasts in your hand and nothing else. A land is okay too. A couple red blasts in a land. Yeah, they are activating the staff. They're looking for something here. They tapped the scrub land to do it, so maybe Fatal Push is not a concern. I should have. Ocelot Pride, that's pretty good. High priority Kolaghan's command target. Nimble Obstructionist. Oh, okay. Alright, well, destroy target artifact. Deal 2 to Ocelot Pride. And then we start the attack. Wait, am I dead on the crackback? This is good for like 6 damage. No. If they chump, that's nice. They don't. Okay. Hook it up. Can I get it more Bowmasters or something? Damn it. This is a 6/7 now. That's cool. Guide of Souls. It's an insane amount of energy. Bowmasters, sure. Oh, can't attack anymore. Can't ponder either. That's upsetting. I need flying blockers too. I need Fatal Push. That's what I need. Where'd all these cards come from? And they're gaining insane amounts of life. This card's messed up. At 3. This is messed up. Bolt. But no real way to do this. Because I weirdly have no lands. Yeah, they could take to the airs. Can't survive this anyway. Could block with Snapcaster Mage. So I go up to 9. So I definitely need to attack. That is for certain. So let's just do that. See if they block with Baragoy for some reason. Or Guide of Souls. Or Bowmasters. They block with the army. Yep. That makes sense. I go to 9. Don't think there's any way I can survive on the crackback. I block. Yeah, everything just has 1 power. Except for this. This is the thing I need to block. If I bolt Bowmasters and Ponder, or I could go to 1 feasibly. If I bolt Guide of Souls and then flash in Snapcaster Mage to chump block. Yeah, Bowmasters, or trade with Bowmasters even, that'd be pretty good. But they'd see it coming, because I can't cast spells on their turn. Just depends on how they want to play it, I guess. Got 2 cards in hand. If you see a better line, let me know. Tough. And now that Red Blast would win it for them, that I was saying I hope they had in hand. I don't know what could possibly be in their hand that would save me here. Yep, there it is. That'll do it. Tough stuff. If I just had a little more mana, I think I might have been able to survive. Alright, 1 more to go. Welcome back for the final round. Pretty normal hand over here. Solid 4 lands to 3 spells ratio. Opponent's good on 7. Pass it back. I do this because if they go turn 1 Blood Moon, I can just grab an island and then let it resolve. Misty Rainforest. Underground Sea. Tameo, sure. That's interesting. It took them a long time to arrive at that. I wonder if they had a Thoughtseize in hand too. It's hard to say. I'll keep Cling, because you just know We're probably up against Reanimator here. I'm going to marginally improve my top decks here and conceal my black mana as well. Or my red mana. Play Strix. If they want to daze, they'll be pretty far behind. If they want to push, they'll be pretty far behind. Great. Say no. So they'll make a clue token. Sure is hard to keep up with this card. They're going to brainstorm, sure. Interesting they dazed the Strix. I guess something could have gone wrong in that capacity, but they definitely weren't concerned with it, unless they top-decked Brainstorm. They don't have another land. I really hope this matters, because they could also just, you know, blast through me with a Tamiyo Ultimate and force all my plays. They are Brainstorm locked. Might see a Ponder here. Might see an Entomb. Tamiyo goes up. Well, that's confusing. Wait, no, it's not. I forgot they had dazed. Alright, let's get Strix back and have them discard. The safe thing to do would be shock Tamiyo, I think, but I need to posture like I have Bowmasters or a way to beat that. Okay, they don't fight over it. They discard Delta. I draw a useless land. Alright, well, play Strix. They'll Entomb in response. Well, I'm ready with this Cling to Dust, but if they can force, that's not going to matter unless I hit more interaction off this Strix. Oh, that's pretty good. In an emergency kind of way. And they put a card on top. I wonder what it is. Kicking off with Brainstorm, sure. They already played a land, so I don't really need to worry about them like shuffling and really sculpting here. They're gonna Thoughtseize. Well, I'm gonna Cling this Atraxa in response. Alright, that worked. Now I'm gonna Brainstorm and hide Kaito. Or am I gonna hide Edict? That's tough. I might be able to trick them into taking the Edict though, which I think would be actually pretty darn good. Actually, let's go like this. I think I can have it all. I think they'll take Baragoyf and reanimate it. If I had to guess. Or if they straight up can't beat a Murktide, maybe they'll take that. Not every deck can. But I will say Brazen Borrower is one of the few cards that would make sense for them to be holding right now. They took Ponder. That is shocking. And they're grabbing Entomb? What is the meaning of this? They'll cast it. Put Archon in there. Lotus Petal? What on earth? Alright, you got me. Shit. What on earth? Lotus Petal. It looked like Blue-Black Reanimator until that happened. Fuck. Their last card is Daze. I'm so screwed. I think I'll drop Baragoyf. Or if they drew Daze off that Archon, that'd be bad too. That's why I hold that Swamp. Man, fuck this game sometimes. Sorry, that was unbecoming, but that was very frustrating. Lotus Petal? I don't know. I don't know if I want to side in Fatal Push or not. I'm gonna stick to the plan. Maybe I'll take another Thoughtseize against this version. Things like that will get you, but they only get you once. Sometimes one win is all you need, though. Sure. Like, if they just replaced all the Wastelands with the Lotus Petals, that seems pretty strong. This might even be in Doomsday. We're gonna find out. No play over there. Alright, well, Thoughtseize you. If I was dead certain on my theory, I would have just... Yeah, it is in Doomsday. I would have just played a Badlands. I think taking Force of Will is the best bluff here. But not taking Daze is kind of annoying. I don't want to take Daze. I'm going to take Force. Shout out Eric, also known as Artisan on MTGO, for making top 8 with this deck at Eternal Weekend. And this is the first time I've played against it. Ponder. I'm going to Brainstorm in the end step. Or wait, that might not be smart. There's an island on top of my deck. If they Daze, though, they'll be back one card, or back one land drop to cast Doomsday. I don't know. It's not looking good. I'm not entirely prepared to fight Doomsday. And they have Dark Ritual and a Daze still. Man, this is bad. Gotta find like a Nimble Obstructionist or something. I don't know. Reanimate's always been pretty solid with Thassa's Oracle. It opens up a lot of piles. This Doomsday is crossing the 5-minute mark, but I'm not really one to talk. I've definitely done this before, playing Doomsday. And I'm worried it's coming off like I'm in kind of a bad mood. I just really wanted to beat Ocelot Pride mid-range. But I'll survive. No, I know what set me off. It was them hitting Force Blue card off their Archon trigger. I also really want to put this Greer Amp sticker on my case, but I'm having a hard time removing it from the pad. Okay, we're in. They've chosen their 5 cards. Yes, I got it. They're passing the turn. They're not F6'd. I don't really have any outs, do I? But I think I still Brainstorm and not get Dazed. Edicting Oracle does not work, as I mentioned, because of Reanimate. So I can't really buy a turn that way. All the Cyclers, maybe not all the Cyclers, but a lot of the Cyclers, okay, maybe not even that many of the Cyclers are in exile. I see one Edge and a Street Wraith. Alright, cast Brainstorm. Bowmasters, that will get Dazed. The problem is if I Ponder and then Shuffle, they will take that as the go-ahead. I don't want to draw those lands, though. I'm hoping they just Thoughtseize me and pass the turn again. Don't think that's going to happen, though. Damn, this thing looks cool. Getting ready for a show right now. Probably should not use new equipment for the first time at a show, but it looks cool. I bet it sounds cool, too. Depending on when this match wraps up, though, might have time to test it out. Oh, they're paying costs. Brainstorm, you got it. Can't exactly F6 right now, though. That would just really give them the go-ahead. Hoping they Thoughtseize me and pass the turn. and then I rip Nimble Obstructionist. Then we'd go to game 3. There's not much risk for them here to just, like, cycle a Street Wraith and cast an Oracle, and they can reanimate it next turn. Dude, it's happening. What do you take here? I know there's another Doomsday in the mix somewhere, and a Daze. They just brainstormed, so Doomsday and Daze could be in their deck right now. Reanimate. But even if their hand was Lotus Petal Oracle, and then one of these 3 cards does not win right now. It's very, very interesting. If this does go to game 3, they might actually time out. They took Strix, and now they're going to pass. Well, okay. Thoughtseize. Not bad. Thoughtseize you. They could daze this, pick up their Undercity Sewers, get another card out of their deck that way. If they forced this, that would be the unknown card accounted for. They could also Doomsday again if the Oracle ends up in a unreachable spot. Because this Thoughtseize is probably going to take Reanimate. There's like some number of dead cards in the mix here. Cavern. Yeah, I mean, Doomsday is probably on top of their deck right now, so take your Reanimate. Yeah, it has to be on top, right? Unless I did this wrong. Did they brainstorm at some other point? So if they put Oracle on top... Oh, Doomsday could be 2 down. So yeah, if they put Oracle on top, I will lose if I don't hold up Edict, so... I guess Bowmasters kind of accomplishes the same thing. Alright. Yeah, the top of their deck could be Oracle right now, and that would be bad. And they do have to draw Doomsday after that, right? I shouldn't have clicked the Doomsday off, but I know it's there. At least I think. Let me count Doomsdays. I'm only seeing 2 in exile, so that all checks out. They're paying costs. Yep. Edict right now. That will keep the Doomsday on top of their deck. Well, unless they do this. Now they can mill the Doomsday. And their last card's probably Oracle, right? Probably. Shit. Surgical Extraction would have been good there. All you can do is bluff. Oh, it's Jace. That also wins. Cool. Another solid 3-2 this week. And I'd love to do a wrap-up. But yeah, that went a little longer than expected. I gotta run. Yeah. I think the games were a little more interesting than they were last week. I do feel a little more acquainted with the format. I think I still have a long way to go, though. I put a lot into Eternal Weekends, and I feel like I'm sliding back a little bit now. But, yeah, we'll get there. Thanks for checking in, as always. Thanks for checking out the content. Liking, commenting, subscribing goes a huge way. Thank you so much for your support. I'll see you next time.